Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special night here at the Sirrah podcast. We're about to do something amazing, hopefully the first of many. We are combining two of the premier shows on the Sirrah Podcast Network. We got That Boom Bap and the Soulfood podcast on the same damn stage at the same damn time.
Holy
one time for your mind. We are in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we're gonna do the honors. We're gonna reintroduce you to, because you know who everybody is. Right. But we're gonna shout everybody out and make sure you are clear with who we have. I'm gonna start with the man, the CEO, the brainchild of this entire operation. It's only right that we start with the one and only G Hawkins.
What up? Welcome back to That Boom Bap plus Soul Food.
Talk about it.
Of course, this is your man G Hawkins. You can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Snappity chatting my ass off at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. You know what? I gotta watch the curse words because y'all show not explicit.
You know what?
So, I gotta keep that.
We're gonna grown fuck it tonight.
Show.
We can grown fuck it tonight.
So we're gonna have to make sure we're
not changing nothing. We're gonna keep it a buck.
Shit, fuck down.
And I think some of us need to cuss this week. So we're gonna let it out.
We're gonna cuss today.
That's what's up.
I say what I feel. Why we gotta be that podcast?
Okay, so on the count of three, on the count of three, everybody say shit. 1, 2, 3. Shit.
All right, so we're live, folks. We're in the building. First collab show. We're sitting in the Delta studio right now. We got it popping. And we're here for you all. We do this shit for you because you love that boom bap, because you love that soul food, that neo soul. You love that R&B. We're giving you that grind. Yeah, cut my phone down because it's doing some crazy stuff back here. Oh, it got louder. I don't know what's happening.
Live TV. This is live.
It's real. But we got the crew with us.
No doubt.
And ladies first.
Yeah,
ladies first.
100%.
Let's start with the illustrious, the one that's always killing it from the left and the right. On that boom bap heavy, none other than Layla E. What up?
I feel like that was a flow coming up.
This is what we do.
I'm gonna get you to freestyle one day.
One day.
No, what's up, everybody? I am Layla E, and I am 1/3 of That Boom Bap.
Yes.
And I am so excited that we are, basically they're our neighbors. When we finish our show, they're starting their show.
Yeah.
So I am so happy that we're in the studio today with That Bomb Soulfood. I was gonna say That Boom Bap podcast.
I know, it's hard not to.
That's right.
It's hard not to.
We gotta come up with a nickname where we blend both of our podcast names together.
Yeah, we do have to do that, right? Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
The Soul Boom Bap is what it is.
The Soul Boom Bap.
Soul
There you
Boom
go.
Bap.
That is.
Yeah, I like that.
Now switching gears, you got a lovely lady on your show, am I right?
Listen, I mean, it's only right that we introduce the powerhouse of our team.
Yeah.
So she got all
The fire of our elements.
Come
you
on.
know what I'm saying? The one and only Miss Sirrah is here. What's up, mama?
Hello.
Sirrah.
Give it to him.
Hey, Sirrah.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
Whatever may be.
Yeah.
Y'all know it's going to come out on this TV,
Yes.
baby. You know how I do. And let me tell you something. I didn't put this together. But you know I do have bright ideas. But I'm so glad that they decided to finally have us on here.
Come on.
Because you know what? We're going to try to go ahead and cut this down to an hour. You know how we do. We get a little passionate about music. Because that's what we love.
47.
But it's even better. You're going to get the R&B and the neo soul, and then you're going to get a little bit of the hip hop.
Yeah.
Hey.
That is the main reason for the person who we're reviewing today. Oh, I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna do it. I know you know that's what I do. But I'm so glad that you tuned in.
And since she mentioned hip hop,
you see, I don't know. You see how they cut me off? They gonna
y'all listen. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know we got a rain baby girl, and she is the fire. We talking about hip hop.
We're talking about hip hop.
So when we talking about hip hop, you gotta talk about my man.
Of course, right? Yeah. When we're talking about hip hop, we're not just talking about things that are domestic, but we're also talking global. When we talk global, we're talking about none other than the main man, international reign supreme.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? All around the globe.
You know what I'm saying?
You know how we do,
you know what I'm saying?
Represent NYC at its finest.
Talk about it.
There it is.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Thank you for that, family.
Shout out, son.
They always put me for a BK dude. I am Strong Island's finest. Representing that 516-631. What up?
But we can't have all this culture without the art.
Listen.
Am I right?
Listen,
Yes.
the artist is here.
Come on.
Hey.
That rounds out the Soul Food podcast, that makes it exquisite, that gives us our culture, tones it down a little bit. Like, oh, hold up, wait a minute, I can't do this. I gotta let Mr. Rod do it. Mr. Rod, go ahead, give it to him like you do. Introduce them right.
Ladies.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Y'all know what time it is.
Ooh.
It's time to let your soul glow, ladies, and get a little bit of that Jessie.
What an intro. Sir. What an intro.
That was awesome. Thank you.
What an
That's
intro.
the best intro ever.
That's love.
Only
That's
thing
every
y'all
week.
know,
I love it.
Can you do a drop for me, girl?
I'm gonna make one. He loves the girl.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jesse BJ, 1/3 of your Soulfood podcast host, where we bring you the latest and greatest in neo-soul, R&B, gospel, you name it, jazz. We're glad to have you. We're glad to be here.
Why are
I'm
you
ready.
clutching that pillow, B?
That's my security blanket right here.
You know he nervous. You know he finna start sweating on them armpits and shit. He like,
Yes.
oh gosh,
You ain't had to put them on
this is
blast.
really happening.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm ready.
Well, here we are.
We've been talking about it for a while. It's here.
We've been talking about it, and we've been wanting it all year.
Absolutely.
And then finally, we're blessed with a project from none other than Anderson Paak.
Talk about
Oh my god.
And we're talking about
Salute
the
to my guy.
long-awaited Oxnard album
Let's get it.
that
Let's get
has hit the streets.
Absolutely.
And obviously, we bring together this collaborative show so we can actually dive deep into our likes, dislikes, how we feel about this particular album.
it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Absolutely.
What's up,
You know,
ladies?
hey,
Ladies,
sit back on this one.
Yes.
Oh, what? Okay.
where do we want to start?
I'm going to start with saying I need to listen to y'all more often. Because I just started listening to Anderson Paak this week. Now, granted, I know about his other efforts. I love Malibu.
Okay.
I loved him on Compton. But I wasn't in the mood to hear Anderson Paak when he dropped around Thanksgiving. I was more like, I'm still in my little hood phase right now. I don't know what it is. I'm just trapping it up, you know. I'm cooking at my work desk, you know, picking in my head, you know. But I am very upset that I didn't listen to this sooner. And maybe there was a reason for that, because this album, you definitely have to be in a certain kind of space
To appreciate it
to
more for what it is.
appreciate it
Yeah.
more. And you can't appreciate it no more than just being in your own space and you're actually listening to every element. Because usually when I listen to an album, I listen to production first. I listen to the beats and how everything's arranged. I pay attention to the album, and then I go into the lyrics. This time I was able to appreciate it where I did everything at one time. So I don't want to give out too much by, you know, saying how I liked or maybe I didn't like the album. But I will say that I am happy that I actually did listen to it finally for this show. So I'm actually really excited to talk about it more.
Yeah. I've never been a fan, and they know it. And I think this was purposely done, but I don't care. I'm still a G. So, but I
purposely.
will say that he has collaborated with some of my favorites, which made me actually like the album and listen to it more than twice. Now, I'm still not a fan, but I have saved a couple of songs.
But you know what, Miss Sirrah, that to that point, that's what makes your input on this portion of the show so critical.
Yeah.
Because the lion's share of us are already fans of him.
Right.
And to hear someone who's not really a fan's take on it, it gives it around. And I'm pretty sure
That's what-
our viewers appreciate that as well, because if there's somebody like you here, I'm sure there's somebody like you there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So they need that connects to that opinion as well.
Right. He is definitely an acquired taste, honey. You know, he definitely is. For me.
After listening to him, like I know we were trying to like put him like figure out where he belongs. Do you agree that he doesn't belong in like he's in a
Well, we talked
his
about
own category? His
that.
own
We talked
little,
about that when Reem was on the show.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
when we did tints for the appetizer that
Yes.
time? And I said, well, what is he? Is he pop? Is he R&B? Is he hip hop? What is he? And do you remember what you told us?
Yeah, I still believe he fits in the neo-soul category, but he has the ability to branch out to do a couple other things. You know, whether he's gonna spit a line or even when he sings, it's still it's still a flow, almost like
Right.
a rap flow
Agreed.
anyway. Whether he was, you know, working with something with knowledge, doing no worries.
Yeah.
He had a real,
That's
even
fine.
though he was
Yeah,
singing,
that
he had
was
a
dope.
real rap flow all
Yes.
through
Yeah,
that
yes,
project.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
but the thing
Absolutely.
is, what you originally said was you can't put him in a box.
You can't.
That's what you said. You said he's not just one particular thing. You
He's
can't put him in a
versatile,
box.
for sure.
yeah.
He's versatile. He can be this, he can be that. And it's not just one thing.
One
You don't
dimensional.
categorize him. And I think maybe that's where the confusion lies with me. I don't think
'Cause you wanna be
he
able to put him in a
knows
box.
what type of artist
But that's
he
also
is.
a beauty of listening to his album is you don't know what the next song is going to
This is
be.
true.
You don't
That's
know
right.
if it's going to be some G-funk type of thing, if it's going to be some hip hop, or it's going to be, some of his songs sounds like people that I'm familiar with, like Bruno Mars. He had a couple of tracks where it actually sounded like it should be on the 2020 Experience with Justin Timberlake. Because Justin Timberlake on that album, he had an
lot of
amazing
funk
background vocals.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Plus production.
and yes, and
Shout out to
Anderson
Timber.
Paak had that on this album. So I think that's what the beauty is about him is that you don't, box of chocolate, you never know what you're going to get.
But you gonna get Parliament and Tevin Campbell in the same damn
that's
CD.
We can all agree that he's not the king of R&B. Yes.
I
don't
wouldn't even-
start
he not
there.
even
We just gonna
R&B.
disrespect Jacquees like that?
I'm pretty much.
We ain't got time for the commentary,
don't.
baby.
But I do want to dive into what y'all just said because I think it's a gift as well as a curse, right? And for those that are tuned in right now, y'all watching this, on Facebook Live or you listening to this via Spotify at the house right now, think about Anderson Paak as an artist. When you're listening to this album, for me, the curse is it's all over the place. The production
yes,
is
real
so different from track to track to
Track,
track.
track.
It feels like the sonic arrangement just can't be done. And on one aspect, you
Absolutely.
can appreciate that because this artist is so outside the box.
With no flow.
But on the other aspect, there's no
None.
no unity with it. It doesn't feel continuous or contiguous. There's no flow to it.
And when we get
Absolutely.
to talking about when we close out how we feel about this album as a whole, I'm going to come back to that very
Sure.
point because that was one of the things that I noticed immediately. And when we talk about, we try not to judge them based on the last project and compare it to this one. We want to see
Yeah,
them
you can't
as
do that.
separate entities. We definitely
You
want to do
can't
that,
do
but
that.
sometimes, human nature, that don't
We
sound
got
like this.
we do that.
That's
a
what we
lot.
have to
Yeah.
go
We
by.
do that a
Like,
lot.
But
What he did
We're
before,
able-
and has he improved? Has he evolved?
Right.
Or is he just in that same
But
little
that's the
box?
point of being an artist too.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
we want to see,
Where
we
you
want to
are.
hope that you have improved in some
Right.
form
Yeah.
or fashion.
I got
Yeah, but at the same time, we still want to judge each project on its own
Absolutely,
merit.
on its own merit.
But
That's true.
I would absolutely agree with all y'all. We definitely want to see growth, and not to, shift gears and make this all hip hop. But that's one of the biggest issues that I'll say the masses have with Pusha T.
Yeah,
they love him. They know that he's talented, but it's like, damn, are we gonna keep getting the same
Same thing.
drug rap P, the same drug rap P?
He has a
and-
track on
Yeah.
there. Like, yeah.
Absolutely, we
Absolutely.
are, and I'm gonna hope that he keeps on making these drug dealing albums.
I need
don't
that
care how
too.
long you've
And
been
I
out the
lived through
game.
it. I lived through him. But a question that I have for all of y'all. Let's talk about, again, one of my favorite things about listening to an album is the intro, right?
Right.
Let's
right.
go.
How, for you specifically, the first song, what did you think when you were being introduced to the album?
Here you go with this wild shit.
That sounds like what she was saying. Yeah,
What?
yeah, I believe it.
That was the first thing you thought of.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought
Here
of
you go
was
with
a
this.
Shaft about to come out. Like,
So I'm on that vibe too, because I thought, oh, the 70s sound. What you
That's-
gonna do with this? Where you
Absolutely.
gonna go with it?
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, look at him. He just all over. He don't know what he is. That's exactly what I said.
The problem, the
Exactly.
thing I
But
was,
then I listened. I saw, but I read who was on, I read not the credits, but who else he collaborated with. And I said, okay, wait a minute. These artists, they're not gonna do no bullshit.
well, to that point, because to your question, and kind of to piggyback off what she said, I've been doing some research on the project prior to it being released, seeing pictures of him with Q-Tip and Dre, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
okay, so
Oh,
they're gonna do
absolutely.
some soul samples
That
in here.
is what
Okay,
intrigued me.
maybe that's where we go. All right,
Maybe
okay,
that's
I want
where
to
we
see how we
going.
do it.
Yeah, but see, Q-Tip is so versatile, man.
Ooh, I
you
love him.
really have no idea which way he's going. The last
Very
time
true.
that
But
I can
it's gonna
recall
be
him
fire.
being true indeed, and the last time I can recall him being on something out of the West Coast is what he did with Game
Absolutely.
on
Oh,
Game's
yeah,
album.
that
My God, documentary 2.0.
Documentary
Yeah.
2.0. He
Yeah,
did
2.5.
Circles, and he sampled the old school Circles record,
Right.
and then just killed it with the beat switch. So you have no idea
Yeah.
when you get it
Yeah.
from Tip. So I saw that picture,
Yeah.
and when I saw him, Dre, and I'm thinking like, yo, Kendrick's also on the
Yeah, what
album.
we about to do, yeah.
This is going to be crazy.
It's
And for me,
star-studded.
like I'm a huge Anderson Paak fan.
Same here.
So
Well, let's talk a little bit about it. Y'all are bringing up Q-Tip. So
Yeah.
he's featured on the track Cheers,
Yeah.
which was produced by him and Dre. Was that one of your favorite tracks of the
it
album?
is.
Yes.
Is absolutely that was the moment I haven't had like a tearjerker moment in music in a while. That was probably one of the first ones. Because
Yeah?
they were talking about, I mean, with Anderson talking about Mac, and then Q-Tip talking about Fife, with me being fans of all of them, it was just, man.
But you know what? I love the approach that he took with Cheers because it's uplifting, it's positive. You know, it's uplifting. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a sad
No,
joint.
Right,
Like
sad.
he took a minute to take shots at people too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a bunch of these fake, you know,
Yeah.
going showing you fake love, but you know, at least for me, and you know, it's genuine and stuff like that. So I thought that Cheers was a good way of sending them off. But I have to agree with you with the Q-Tip part. That was more like, you know, my man ain't here kind of
That's
thing.
I think, as a whole, we're still attached to that loss.
Yeah.
So just being reminded of it, I was like, man, you know, like,
I agree with that. I mean, that was heavy for the hip hop community, and I think there's a level of honor of being able to honor someone through music, through the legacy of music that Anderson Paak is able to do. So it's so interesting that he did so many right things on this album. Who for me, it didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. My expectations were so much higher, and I think that this album delivered because of some of the things that we talked about. And obviously, moving from, if we're on this hip hop vibe, since that's where I'm, actually, you know what? I'm gonna flip it real quick.
Let's go.
I'm gonna flip over to something like, what is it, 6 Summers?
yeah.
That was
You know
a
what I'm
dope
saying?
track.
So something that I really loved, which to me was a more, you know, a classic Anderson Paak feel.
I'm back and forth about that one track. Like
Six
that's
Summers.
one that sticks out. Like I'm with it, but I kind of like the
different.
second half of the song better than I like the
Same
first
here,
half.
because it speaks to who Anderson is. Like, we know him in that soul vibe. We know
Right.
him in that groove. So something that's more melodic, something that has that, not docile, but that puts you in that mindset and that flow. We're tied to him there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not necessarily as tied, at least for me, I'm not necessarily as tied to him from a hip hop perspective. So when I'm hearing him on dropping bars on a 2 and a 2 or one or whatever he's doing, whatever cadence he's in, I'm disconnected a little bit.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree with that, because sometimes it's like with Anderson, and I imagine because I'm a fan of him, I'm kind of more prepared for him than someone with new ears listening to him.
True. Yeah.
So you have to kind of tune your mind to, oh, he's rapping this album, this song. Oh, he's singing on this song. It's a switch.
You bring
and it doesn't
expectations to
it doesn't allow you to kind of flow with it,
Don't look
because
for
you're
a flow.
And you know what's funny is that with listening through the album, sometimes when he was singing, I thought it was Kendrick Lamar coming back on a track.
it sound-
Because
yes.
he sounds just like Kendrick when he's
does.
doing the little
Yeah.
singing tones.
Yeah.
But I think for me, and I just realized this looking at the track listing, I was like, which ones are my favorite? They're all the hip hop inspired ones.
Yeah, trippy. with
Yes,
J. Cole.
yes, I
yo,
love
shout
that.
out to
Great
Cole.
production.
He's been
Yeah.
on fire all
Yeah,
this
Cole
year.
is doing some
Oh,
things.
and let me not even. Okay, for those of you that don't know, okay, so Anderson Paak's, I call him Paak, I know it's Paak. His albums have all represented where he's from. He's from the West Coast. So this is Oxnard, which is his hometown. He had Malibu. And what else did he
Venice.
have?
Yeah, Venice.
Venice. And then he also was featured on Dr. Dre's last album, Compton. So the thing that I love about him is that he is staying so true to his roots.
Sure.
And that shows, obviously, he's working with Dre. He's working with Kendrick. And one of my favorite songs was Anywhere with Snoop Dogg.
Great song.
I like that.
And
That's
tell
right
me that was not a Snoop Dogg record
That
for
could
sure.
that could be
that
his
was.
flow. Maybe not in the album, but through the series of albums, that's his flow right there.
Yes.
The journey he's taking you on, from city to city, town to town. That could be his flow right there.
But you know the
kinda
other thing
genius.
about
That
it
could
is,
be.
is
Very
it,
genius.
it really is so all over the place though. And when these songs shift gears, they shift gears hard. You know what
Perfect
I'm saying?
example. Like,
0 to 10.
one of the songs that I gravitated towards is the Smile /
So
Petty joint.
let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Let's get into
Smile
it.
is my shit.
I love that fucking
But
song.
all I want is smile. Like I have
first
to
half, yeah.
go,
Yeah.
Like I have to keep rewinding it
Right.
back
It clearly
because
should have
that's
been two
all I
songs.
want.
He pulled a Rhapsody.
That's
in
exactly
a
what he did.
situation
Damn.
and took and
That's a good
collapsed
call-out.
2 different songs together when it was unnecessary.
It really was. It was
Yeah.
unnecessary.
I like that though.
I like it.
I like that it was like a mashup type thing.
Yeah, but it's
I liked
it's
it because I liked both of them. The two together are good songs
On their own.
individually,
Right.
So it made me appreciate it as a whole. But if I was mastering that project, I'd be like, no, you need to separate these two right here.
Listen,
This one's a vibe.
I could have
this is
really
a
used
different
that to
vibe.
been a separate song, 3 verses.
That-
Let's roll out. That beat is so fucking dope.
Yeah.
Man, listen, y'all.
But-
oh man,
Yeah,
I love it.
so
man.
that's my
That's my
and it's
argument.
funny because I want to be like that's my next favorite song. Actually, my first favorite song on the album is "Smile." But you know what? I grew an appreciation for Hello though.
Now,
I like Hello.
I want to talk about
Hello
Hello.
was
Hello.
good.
That was good.
I really
I
want
like
to discuss Hello, because after I've listened to the album several times.
Yeah.
Hello was instantly one of my favorites, right? However, in thinking about the subject matter, right?
Of course.
For those who don't know, I'm just gonna we grown.
Break it down for us.
Hello is about getting head in the whip, aka Nori. You know what I'm saying?
Roadhead.
So while the sonically it sounds incredible, but then
You didn't like the content, huh?
not that I didn't like it, but as I thought about who Anderson Paak was, the type of artist that he can be and that he's going to be eventually, I thought that subject matter was something that was a little bit juvenile for the type of talent that
Something
he
could have
has.
done way back when the first album.
I can
Should've
dig
been
it,
coming out, but not
and
now.
I know that's part of his. I know that's part of his where he's at right now. I totally get it, but I can. This one, when I'm in those thinking modes, when I overthink it too much, I start to pick it apart, and that's the one bone I had to pick about that was that the subject matter was. I felt
And
it was a
then his
little
skit.
juvenile, but the
Yeah.
and the skit
yeah,
itself.
after the
So we don't recommend you getting head in the car because you can cause an accident, which
No,
happened at the end of
wait a
the
minute. I
song.
ain't say all that.
But
I
now
ain't
while you
There's
driving,
nothing wrong with
Ain't
that.
nothing wrong with head in the car.
when it's parked,
That's why you get
Relax.
autopilot in your whip.
and everybody don't have a Tesla.
I will not sit here and talk
just
down
saying.
about
Is he
head in
wearing
the
For the
car.
rest of us, you
Nah,
pull
nah,
over and
nah.
park.
I didn't even want to say it. You see, you took it there. That's boom bap stuff. So you bring it to the wrong.
Yo.
I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry.
I would all
We
agree that
classy.
Headlow, production
Yeah, we
wise,
classy.
is
Right.
Flawless.
on point.
Flawless.
Yes.
I was so impressed by this. And this to me set the pace for the rest of the album, which is why moving into the next track and then the next one, it was such a juxtaposition because I was not expecting to go into this not ratchet, but this totally different
It's a little
Anderson
ratchet.
Paak.
It was nasty.
He's this hood pop.
Nah, I needed the flow because the flow of this and the tempo of this beat right here. This is definitely drop top down.
Agreed.
Riding out. I'm cruising to this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if I could set up my playlist, I'm gonna rock Smile right behind this one.
Right.
And then I'm probably gonna throw on the joint with him and Cole after that one.
Right.
And just keep it fly, man. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm a Six Summers fan. So it's like so funny, we're picking out some of the best songs, which to me says, on the executive production side, there were things that could have been removed.
Absolutely.
What do y'all think about that?
Totally agree. I think the sequencing it has lots of room for improvement.
Yeah.
The sequencing definitely is one of the flaws of this project.
Really?
Which lends itself to my overall opinion of the album. This might be a little bit of a hot take. I think personally that because of the success of Malibu,
Come on.
that this album may have been a little bit rushed.
Come on.
One of our viewers
Only
said it
because
was lackluster.
Only because I
Yeah.
feel like it's like, okay, we're not gonna really rush you to get this album out, but we do need you to put something out soon.
Yeah.
So we can keep that name going.
I don't know if that was the case,
That-
man. Cause they did.
I could be
they
wrong.
did Yes Lord. They did a remix for Yes Lord, They put out the unreleased tracks that he had.
Right.
But that wasn't his choice.
That's not his choice.
He didn't mean for them to come
And it's
out.
fine,
Right.
but at the same time, from a business perspective and got to stay hot perspective,
Yes.
they still doing that. He's still doing features.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the bad part is if you, from a business perspective, trying to stay hot, you take your hottest single and don't even put it on the album, which is Bubbling.
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
That's a
Bubbling
little
opened up us to Anderson
was
Paak
dope.
with the expectation of Oxnard is coming.
Absolutely.
And then you make an executive decision and say, I'm not even going to put, you pulled a Kendrick Lamar with I.
Exactly.
You decide not to even put it on the app. You didn't even give us a version of it. You just like, it just ain't going to be
But
here.
you know what? That's because when Tints dropped, Tints burnt up quick.
Well,
Like Tints took the place of
it's
of
very,
Bubbling.
Tints
it's
is
very
dope.
commercial.
It
Very
is.
Tints is
commercial.
very
And,
commercial.
and you
Yes.
got Kendrick on
But
it,
you
so
love
you know
it,
it's gonna
though.
move.
Yeah,
Kendrick.
100%. It was a
That was
layup.
purpose, though.
Yeah.
It was a layup.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
production is great. He's gonna sound dope on it anyway.
And his flow was
And his
good,
flow is
too.
dope. So
Yeah.
But this
layup.
is the thing about him. Regardless of how much we like and appreciate him, he's still considered like an indie artist. So he has to do something commercially to get the masses and the other people away from the Lil Pumps and away from these other people that they're listening to.
I don't know.
And get into his album.
I
Because
think he
Tints
ha-
was a perfect way to introduce new fans to him.
See, I feel like he has such a strong following. There's certain artists that have such a strong following in their lane
is one of them,
that
yeah.
they don't have to reach out to do anything extra.
I totally agree.
Like people either love him or don't like him at all. But for those who love him, they ride for Anderson.
I really
No,
like
that was
the
that was a shade
I
tree
like the-
throwing
I like
right
the couple.
at you.
I
like,
said
That
So
was
you
a
like,
palm
come
tree.
that. Yeah,
I
shade
had
tree,
counted.
palm tree.
I even
palm tree.
pointed at her like, don't like him at all.
Three.
You know what I'm saying?
But
hey, I make it known. But like Good Boy pointed out, this album did, have some things on there that kind of changed my mind. It helped me to change my mind. When it initially came on,
Yeah.
I did think he go with the same old shit that he keep doing that I don't like.
So you like some of the
But
commercially
because
songs?
because the review was on him today,
Yeah.
I did my due diligence, and because I did it, I do like. So I have to admit
Can you
that
share
I
with
ended
us some
up
of the
like
tracks
him.
you might like?
Yeah, I like the Q-Tip. I actually like, because I like Kendrick, Q-Tip, Snoop, Drake.
the hip hop
I like the ones that my favorite artists are on, because sometimes, and we said that when Khalid and Herc did that collaboration, it's like sometimes your favorite artist can help you to see, that other artist
Another
for who
artist.
they are, what they're trying to do, and say, well, maybe I like this kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I like him with this collab, or
Similar
maybe I
to
like
opening
him
acts
in
in a
this.
concert.
Same thing.
Your favorite artist showing you someone that they like.
Someone
Yeah.
that they like, and it helps me to say, well, you know what, maybe I should take another look at him, or maybe I, because, I hate to even say it, I did not like Jill Scott when she came out. I know, stop, I know. I didn't like.
We're going to cover it.
No, let me rephrase, y'all.
If we had a
That's
commercial
just-
break,
No. Okay, I thought I could be honest up in here.
Yeah.
Y'all just throwing shit at me and all that like that. I'm from the shy. Don't do it.
Please don't
I
do
didn't like getting in the way. And what I didn't like is I don't like the catty girl to girl fighting over men type of songs.
It
I
wasn't
hate
about her fighting
that
over a man.
shit.
She was fighting for her respect.
Oh, and he was back there fucking both of them.
Oh,
So at the end of the day,
Jesus.
so at the end of the day, I don't like those type of songs. I don't like this. Sister girl, you better look, Barbara Shirley.
Shirley.
Put it
Barbara
on to the
Shirley.
side. You got something you want to say to Shirley, Jill? Go on, talk to Shirley. Don't put it on wax. But I didn't like it. But I listened,
And I'm
I
happy you
listen.
did that.
and I love her.
That whole album is just
Love that whole album except for that one.
gold. But you know what? She talked about practicing some restraint, leading it. She didn't just like all of a sudden come out like I'm ready to box. She was
Yeah,
like,
she did.
I've been a lady. I've been a lady up until.
She said that.
No, she said I've been a lady
That
up
was
until
good,
now.
But the good thing
Don't know how much
about
I can take.
Become a Jill Scott album review?
but the good thing
Sorry,
about
I'm
it,
just.
But I would like
just
to bring
relating.
it back. I would like to bring it back to what you were saying, and you made a really good point. The features on this album
Absolutely.
are also amazing. Let's talk about it. We have Keja Bonet, Norel, so he also is bringing out
Norel was
people.
I love Narelle.
Yes.
Norel was,
I
yeah.
love Narelle.
He obviously has Kendrick. We talked about Dre. He has Coco, Sirrah, Pusha T, Snoop Dogg, The Last Artful Dodger, J. Cole, Q-Tip, BJ, the Chicago Kid.
What, did y'all see him on the Soul Train Awards? The Cypher?
I don't know if I saw him.
Cypher.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I missed him on the Cypher. I need to.
They have a
I'll
Cypher?
YouTube that.
Erykah Badu, DJ The Cypher.
Yeah.
It was Kelly Price, BJ, Queen
I
Niger,
didn't know that.
that was
Luke James, and
I didn't know they were doing
my-
Soulfood.
Right.
Soul Train.
Robert
Soul
Glasper,
Train.
H-Town, on the keys.
No shit.
Oh my God.
Did you stand up? Did you stand up?
Thundercat was on the bass.
I gotta catch that. I
Yeah.
gotta find
But
that.
look,
We gonna
That's
have to
fine.
do that.
But between Luke BJ opened it. Smashed it, bro.
BJ's a
BJ
BJ's
is
fire.
so
100%.
amazing.
100%.
And the one thing I wanted to call out with the features is that, you know how when you listen to
Pineapple
an
Dilators?
album and it sounds like there was no chemistry, or it was just somebody thrown on last minute.
Right.
All the features on this album sounded so
good.
organic.
The cool thing about
and
it
it went
is,
so well.
But you know
with
what? I'm gonna go
I
ahead
agree.
and just cut right down to the bullshit.
Ooh,
I would delete both of the songs that got Dre on it, including Mansa Musa.
no.
I really don't.
You don't
I
like
really
Mansa
don't.
Musa?
I really don't
What
think.
was it about?
No. It's not that I don't like it.
I'm with you on
It's
that.
not
I'm
that
with
I
you.
don't
What
like
was
it.
It don't fit.
It doesn't fit the album.
takes some of the.
The album is all over the place.
That's
That's
the
why
point.
it-
That's why it needs to come
why
off.
And it adds
That's
to
why it needs to
the-
come
to
off.
this-
The confusion?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
How you gonna
Yes.
add to a chaotic situation?
But that's the point.
That's
That
what
song-
you're supposed to do.
You can take something.
No.
It's
No.
addition by subtraction. I think by taking
kidding?
that project off gives it a little bit smoother sequence. Because the track is good. It's
Is
not a
this
bad
it?
track.
Nope.
It just feels like it was shoehorned into this album.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that could have been something that he could have
But
done.
let's think about Drake More Life, if y'all remember that album, right?
Okay.
It was considered a playlist, not an album, because it was a little bit
Did you
everywhere.
say Drake?
Yeah.
More Life?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna go where she
It's the
going.
little things.
I'm gonna go where she going.
I'm in.
Okay, but it was really considered a playlist, right? Because his music, it didn't really fit into a cohesive stamp, right?
True.
This is reminiscent to that in that way. There's nothing that flows together where it makes sense. If he would have stayed with the theme, like a 70s or G-Funk theme, that would be a whole different story. But he chose not to. He chose to make this like a playlist.
And that's why I think.
And
that
I
this
think that's why I
project-
liked it.
That's why I feel like this project was rushed because of
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't. Malibu had a flow
Come home.
from one to the end.
Yeah.
It flowed. This one does not have it. That doesn't mean it's devoid of good songs. I
Very
just
true.
don't think that it's put together well. Now, and another take I'm going to say on this, I think this is the album that's going to glue his two projects together. His next one should be a classic. This ain't it. But this will be the one that'll get him to that.
I think Malibu plays on that idea of being a classic.
I agree.
Malibu's right. Malibu
That's
was
worth
right.
the conversation.
That's
Yeah.
that's it. That throws it
Because
in absolutely.
it's the song content, it's the the beat selection, features of course that plays a big deal. Shout out to Game, he's on
100%.
there. And-
Rhapsody, all of them, yeah.
yeah, Rhapsody is
Yeah.
on there, and it just is sequenced well.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah,
So
I can
y'all
entertain
think
that.
They
that
should've hired the same
Malibu
person.
was probably a little bit better than this album?
Well, like most artists will
Everybody
say,
said, yeah.
their first real project is the one they've been working on all
On
their
their
life.
life. Yep.
So it's going to sound a little bit more cohesive because
Yeah,
they
I agree with
have more
that.
time to put it together. Whereas this album, people were waiting for it, so he had to kind of
Yeah.
Well, I
get it
guess I'm the
out.
oddball out
and that's not
because
to take away from
I
it.
like
feel
this
like
one
was
more.
rushed, though.
Well, that's not to take away from Venice. I won't take away from that because Venice, I thought it was a very interesting. It was a welcome to Anderson Paak album, and
Exactly.
you really get an idea of where he's at, which was still more or less constructed. Like this album is, right? Less constructed like this. Malibu was a total flip of let me get in a very aligned way and let me get in
Absolutely.
my purpose and my vision. And
Absolutely.
then this one's like, I done made it, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
That's exactly what it
And,
was.
and I'm
always
gonna get
happens
all
that
these
way.
features. And let me keep it a buck. While I think that these features are great, I think he's at a place where he didn't necessarily need all these features to have a great album.
I thought he needed him to have a great album.
I don't think so.
High five, girl.
I like
I
Pusha
thought
T,
he needed
but
him.
here on My
Sorry.
Brother's Keeper, it's not necessary.
This-
I don't
Oh,
think Pusha
that's
that point-
such a dope track.
Not
that-
saying it's not a dope track.
I love what
I
Pusha
think
T
it's
did with
unnecessary.
it though.
I
To that
did
point,
too. Talking about
I
his
agree.
brother.
I agree with you because you and I are Anderson fans.
Yeah.
It was the features were necessary for people who were not.
Perhaps, yeah.
Because he doesn't have
We
an
don't need
album
him
like
to do
that.
that. We don't need that.
Yeah,
we just
right.
needed him.
Because you're
You know
saying
what I
Y'all
mean?
appreciate-
Malibu's a classic, and when I
I
listened
get
to it, they
get it.
suggested, and when I listened to it, I couldn't even finish.
Five Flames.
I couldn't finish
Malibu.
it though because of that.
Five.
Me would turn my
Malibu
attention
bored
to
me
it was
in the
the
beginning.
feature.
How did you not want to dance when you was listening to
Am I wrong to
Your Soul? If she can't dance, then she can't.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and shame on me
Corny.
for doing this, but I remember when I had to do an album review for Malibu when it first came out, and I listened to it. It was the first listen, so I listened to it twice, and I didn't care to listen to it again. I was kind of bored with it. Now, with my more adult, grown ears, I don't know if I still would listen to it again, but I am now that we're talking about it. But I appreciate this more because it made me see how versatile he is, because I'm not a huge fan. I like him, but I'm not a big fan, like you said. And that's very well the reason why you and I are probably giving this way more, you know, flames,
accolades
as
than
you
what
say.
than the others, and you all are feeling that because you like that. Even though you said he had a flow on that, I didn't think he had a flow. I think it was all over the place, which is exactly why in the intro I said it's the same thing that we've been getting. Because of that, I really don't think he has a flow. It's like everything to me sounds all over the place.
But don't you think that goes with what y'all were saying, that he doesn't belong in a one box? He's,
Right, that's
he's
what they were
so
saying.
different that wouldn't y'all expect something like
I
this
think,
from
he,
him?
I think, but I
everything.
think with that, in Malibu, he found a way to master it to make it seem like you didn't have to switch gears to what you were hearing. Like, for
Okay.
instance,
Like
you don't have
control
to,
content.
Okay.
Like
you don't have to
kinda-
prepare for the hip hop after you hear a smooth R&B joint. It
Yeah.
kind of, it's because of the sequencing, like they've said.
Okay.
The sequencing lend it to where it flows right into one another. So
Yeah.
you'll have an R&B track, then you'll have an R&B track with a rap verse, then you'll have a rap song, then you'll have another rap song with a singing verse, and then it goes to a singing song.
Like a roller
It's-
coaster.
It's sequenced better. This one just bow, 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 bow.
All over the place.
But I have to believe with a mind like his, like he's so multifaceted.
Yeah.
It's so much going on up here. He got to just get it out. No matter, he don't care probably how he gets it out, but he's got to get it out on wax, some kind of way.
And that
Sounds
means
But
like
it's so much going on.
genius.
Like it's so
Yeah.
much going on up here, though.
I
in
agree
his
with
mind.
you.
So
That-
much.
to me, that means there's a problem with your team. Because somebody should have heard this and been like,
Compartmentalize some of that.
His
No.
team is Aftermath. He's with the best. He's with Dre.
somebody should have said something like, I just.
No,
I
they
mean,
probably said let him do what he do.
Like this is cool. That's cool. That's cool. But let's put it here.
yeah,
Let's put this
that's-
here.
That's
Let's put
too
this
many
here.
yes men.
The interesting thing
It's
about it
tough.
is that he has a radio program on Apple Music called Yes Lord Radio.
Mm-hmm.
He actually talks about the process of putting this album together. He said it's
Okay.
completely different from when he put Malibu together.
Mm-hmm.
Malibu, he said he had more, it was a more vibey type of project.
Yeah.
This one he sat down and really focused. Maybe he not messed up, but maybe by changing that, he overthought what he
He
was
just
doing.
threw
Well,
his
he
hands
also
off.
he
threw you
also
all off.
mentioned that there were some clearances that he couldn't get.
That too,
He
yeah.
couldn't get. He also
love to
mentioned
hear
that
those.
Dre put him on tight deadlines, so he started drinking and smoking more to do everything. So that is the pressure that could have made this album sound a little rushed.
Rush.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe y'all are right. So what is something that you would? What is something that was your favorite part of this album and your least favorite part?
The song that we talked about, the songs that we've identified are songs that I like. I just like them separately. I don't like them as a flow. That's the blessing and the curse of the project.
Right.
I think honestly, I left the project thinking, okay, this is not a bad album.
Right.
And let me make that clear. I don't believe this is a bad album. I just feel like this is the one that's gonna take him to, okay, now the next one is probably gonna be his classic album.
That's what you
This is kind of setting him up to, this is the Off the Glass for the
The
song.
alley.
This is the Off the Glass alley.
Y'all
This is,
made it sound like Malibu was the classic album.
That's
Malibu
what I
was,
was. That's what
I think so.
Malibu was in that conversation
Okay.
for real.
Man.
So what about for you? What was
Especially
your
that
favorite?
year when
Man,
it was
listen,
dry.
that year, absolutely, yeah.
2016?
Yep.
It was a little, he stood out. Yeah.
that. That's the first
Yeah.
thing we agree on.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? What was your favorite? And
I
least
didn't get to
favorite?
sit with like the whole thing in its entirety. So like I got to basically, well, not long enough to get a favorite. So, and I'm not a big hip hop head, but I can appreciate those who could actually rap. And I know who's I know who's who. You know what I mean? Who can go?
Change that.
So I mean, so,
Or have you on that boom bap, make you listen to it.
Please,
Trap album.
yeah.
so I'm a fan like they are, and I'm a fan more of the R&B side, you know,
Gary.
of the album. So like, but the features were dope on there too. So collectively, I liked it all. Like I'm a fan. I was waiting for it, so I couldn't wait to get my hands on this project. But like, I'm more of a fan of Malibu than this for sure. I am.
I like that.
I don't know. I think that this is what made me listen, and I would, like I said, I saved some to my playlist, and I don't think he's just horrible now.
I'm glad for that.
That's a that's a win.
That's a big step.
Let's clap for that.
Yeah.
That is a win.
Clap for that.
That is a win.
But
Word up.
we say
That's a
Anderson
win.
Paak, she was ready to puke in the studio.
I
Yeah.
remember.
I rolled my
She had a
eyes
fit.
on the thread when G was like, "Oh, we're gonna review." I said, "Yay, everybody's yeah!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
and he showed it the.
Nah, it was the perfect album to mesh our shows together.
Yeah.
I mean, we
It
got
really was.
Yeah,
artists
because
like
it has
Snoop,
both.
we
Yeah,
got
it has
Pusha
both of what we
T,
represent.
Yeah.
you know, and we
Whose
got
idea
BJ
was
the
this?
Chicago
It's a
Kid.
hip hop ass album. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean,
keep it
I
a
liked
buck.
it. What about you? What was your
You know
favorite and
that
least favorite?
I feel like I'm repeating everybody. I swear, but I don't know if this album as a whole has a lot of playback value for me. It does have its playlist
Shocked.
joints that
Yeah.
There's 4 songs that need to be on 3 different playlists that I have, right?
Absolutely.
But
Okay.
as far as a whole project, I don't know if I'm gonna give this burn unless I'm riding out and it's just something that I want to hear in its
Okay.
entirety. But the playback value is pretty low. I really do wish that "Smile" was a full song. The vocals on that record is just so fucking fly.
Is that the one with Norell or is that the one with
No, Sonya. At least.
that Smile, man?
Yeah,
that
Smile's
Smile,
just
man.
crazy.
You wrong for not making that a 4-minute joint. Like,
real.
That's
It goes back to that thing, like it happens to all of us where for some reason an artist be like, yeah, this shit is dope. This is the
Interlude.
hardest beat I got.
Interlude.
Let's make it interlude.
interlude. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
You know
come
what's
on,
good
B.
for that, DJ Premier?
He killed me with that,
yeah.
son.
All the time.
Premiere.
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all gotta stop
What about
that,
you,
man.
G?
Couple
Cut it off.
times.
Hold on, you skipped yourself, like, or you gonna close it out?
No, I thought I already said it.
Oh, okay.
What's the
I
question
ain't
again? Like that.
Your favorite?
Favorites.
What is something that you would change about the album, and what was your favorite thing about the
Yo,
album?
so if we were in the studio, the regular studio, I would pull up the change cam and I would write out the changes on this playlist. Let me keep it a buck. This album put me in a position to straight up grab the gauntlet and be like Thanos and do this. Half these
Not
fucking half
Thanos.
songs would have disappeared from this album.
Damn.
This would have dropped down to
an
an
EP?
8, a strong ass 8,
Quality.
and been
Fire.
perfect.
Fire.
Not what he gave us here.
Agreed.
And it's because
How
of the
many tracks
rushness, it's
is it?
because
12.
of everything that he's done. I would have easily cut 4 tracks.
Absolutely.
No questions asked.
Absolutely.
Now, here's the thing. I think to speak to what everyone else has said, there's songs on this album, like the one that we're listening to right now, that are great individually, that do not work cohesively on an album. So if from a commercial perspective, he's got a lot of singles that could pull from this.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not something I'm putting in and I can ride to.
Agreed.
And that's a problem because that was the expectation I had for Anderson Paak.
Right.
I could play your stuff and ride to it. I can't
Yeah.
do it on Oxnard.
Absolutely. I shouldn't have to hit skip.
I should not.
Oh my God, y'all would
he,
skip
He is too
Yeah.
great of an artist, especially live. He is too great of an artist. He is a musician first. So there's songs on here that I cannot wait to hear at a concert.
Absolutely.
But there's songs on here that should
you
have
hope
never
doesn't make it.
that should have never been pressed.
And Mansa Musa is one of them. And you know
Never
what?
made mix.
Shout out to Melinda. Thank you for co-signing that I do play certain songs around the house. But the songs that I play are the ones that, it's part of that hard 8 that should be on the album.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when
And I'm a fan. Like when it came out, I was anxious to hear it. Matter
My
of fact,
God.
I could tell you where I was. I was riding down 10 leaving Katy. So I had a stretch of road to bounce down. I'm in the car where I love to listen to music at. And by the time we got to the end of it, you know, it's one of those things where you was waiting so long for the project, you like, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then the second time you listen to it, you like,
It was underwhelming for
Yeah.
you.
No, that
Wait
was
a
my
minute,
Childish
wait a minute.
Gambino moment
and
when
then
I
the
thought I
third
was
time
getting
you
a
listen
hip
to it,
hop
you
album.
like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna move this to this playlist, these to this
Absolutely.
playlist, and I love you, but I'll be waiting on the next one.
I did that. I did that with this one. It was different with Malibu. I was able to play about 9 of those joints on the Remedy. On this one, I think about 3 of them are on the Remedy's playlist, and I played them already. And I'm like, that's where we're gonna stick it right there, and we're gonna live with that.
Well, then
man.
I'm
We're gonna live with
interested
that.
in knowing on a scale of 1 through 10, when you think about the playback value, you think about the production and everything as a whole, what would you rate this album?
The album itself, I give it a 7.
A 7?
That's a strong rating.
That's
pretty strong.
It wasn't dope like
That's
that.
pretty strong. I'll give it about the same though. I agree.
So you
That's
give it
strong.
a
I'll
7?
give it about 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I liked it. I mean, he was probably a negative 100.
Give it a 5, and then I like it.
When I started.
That's a positive for her.
So,
She really,
Really?
we brought her from a place
Yeah.
to this.
No, I
to-
mean 0.
She really,
I did not
she's
like
not feeling
him.
son.
I
Yeah.
did not like him at all. I didn't like
He
his
should sell
style.
another-
I didn't like his look. I didn't like his way
voice,
of doing. I didn't like the sound of his voice. I
Yeah.
don't like him.
He should
as an
sell. He
artist.
should sell another 20,000 just because
No.
of you right now.
Well, no.
That's
it
real
ain't-
rap
no.
because that's a
Yeah,
that's
if
a.
it ain't free.
He did
it
good
ain't
if he
me.
got a 5.
I am
But-
so happy to
I
have
want
this
to-
moment, share this moment with y'all that y'all are having with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is
It
special.
happens. It is. Write
This
it
is
down.
very special.
Write it down for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just saying. I mean, I can admit when I have a change of heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just so
Prideful that
stuck
you
on.
can't,
Yeah, I'm not just so stuck on. Okay, I just don't like it. I won't listen to it. I won't give it a chance. No. I will do that because I do have an appreciation for music. I love music.
And that's
real music.
dope
And I know
about
this
you.
much.
Real music.
That's
I will
dope.
give anything a chance. I mean, even if the first one flops, I will still listen to the next one and the next one after that. If I like, I mean, I'm the type of person, I bought the cassette tape if I like one song.
Oh no,
That's
I
me.
wasn't
She
doing
said
that.
cassette tape.
Whatever.
I'll go get
Goddamn.
a dub.
I will.
Wait for it on 98.7 Kiss or something.
No, I wouldn't.
my
97.9
God.
or
I would
You
something.
got the dub? Let me check it.
I would
the
not.
dub.
listen.
I would not. I would support the artist because I know what they went through to do it, and then sometimes people just need to improve because it's hard to go out there. It's like everybody can't be a comedian, everybody can't just be this type of artist. Maybe you need to find yourself and find your
lane.
sound.
So what would make you give that album a 7 or an 8? What do you think could have pushed it for you to get
A
a higher
flow,
score?
something that you can ride to, something that you don't have to put skip. That's not music
Damn,
to
it's
me.
a lot of
That's not
skip.
an
That don't sound
album.
like 5 songs you like. What
You know, well, they're not all together. They're not all together. They're not back to back. I like I said, I like the artist in them, and that
Yeah.
made me listen to him because
Okay.
I want to see what BJ talking about.
It would have been. It probably
know.
would have been a lower rate for me if the songs I like weren't so strong. The
Yeah.
songs I like are very strong.
You
Strong,
really like
yeah, that's good.
You really like him. I said 5 because I'm still halfway with him
Yeah.
as an artist, but I do appreciate musicians. If you can play instruments,
Come on.
that's just dope.
He plays and sings like
Yeah.
And
Like it's easy.
I've heard
Very
he plays
talented.
multiple. I heard he plays multiple. I do appreciate an artist who can write. I do appreciate one who, isn't just, they collaborate with good people and they work with them to make it mesh and sound right. That, to me, that's work. You
Okay.
can't just mesh with BJ and then go back with Dre. To me, you have to make that work.
Okay.
That's just not some shit you just wake up in the morning.
it says a lot about the artist that
me.
he is.
It says a lot about the artist who he is, and I would not have known that had he not collaborated with him. I said, oh, he is.
I got you
He
on
is that, what they're talking about, because he came on with all these different people
Flavors,
who
yeah.
sing different type of genres of music, and the shit is fire.
Hot.
You have to be able to tap into that
Got
and what they
into it.
do in order
Yeah.
to make it work, and for somebody else to listen and appreciate and like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why I gave him a 5.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What about you,
I
Ray?
like that. Can I get a 5 or
Oh, yeah, shit.
Can I get a high 5?
All of you, goddamn, you two. Come on over.
Every Thursday.
Get some of that. Every Thursday.
8 p.m.
8 to 9-ish, 8-ish, 9-ish. You know how we do.
And what about
Meet
you,
us
Ray?
there.
I'm giving it a hard 6.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm at a
I
6
respect
with it. mainly because of the same reasons that GoodBar spoke on it. The songs that I really like. When I'm listening to Smile, I hit the back key 50 fucking times. As soon as I hear her be like, skip. So I get about 20 minutes of Smile because I'm literally pushing it back. Head Low, I didn't realize how much I liked it until I started preparing for the show, so I think that's really dope. Cheers, man. Cheers is a really dope way, up-tempo way to send your people off. Gotta salute that. So yeah, for me, it's a hard 6, man. It's a grimy face 6. Like, I'm in here.
I'm gonna give you the 6, but you better come with it next time.
Yeah.
You better come with it next time. I'm gonna give you 6. But.
What about you, Ms. Layla?
I guess I have to be the difficult one because.
No,
Like
do you?
7.5. Oh, you trying to say just me being difficult, huh?
No.
Play me and him.
Do you think, honey?
I love you so much. Oh God, I would say like a 7.5, which is very surprising for me because I didn't care too much about his work previously unless he was a featured artist. I do like that it kind of was everywhere because if it was a cohesive album of everything that his first track was, I probably wouldn't have been that interested in it. I do love and think that the people that he has featured on this album was carefully thought out.
Absolutely.
And I loved it and it sounded organic. I do, however, I would change the order that the songs are in. And maybe that would kind of play with what y'all are saying, that y'all would skip some. And I was about to make a Lil Wayne reference, but I'm not going to do that.
Ooh, that was
I'm not
right
going to
now.
do it. I'm not going to do it.
Bad
But no, I appreciate him as an artist. He gives me the Bruno Mars and the Prince and the Justin Timberlake vibe. And those are all 3 artists that I love. And if you haven't listened to Anderson Paak, I think this is your chance to actually get into it.
I agree.
And start with this album and then
Totally
maybe
agree.
work your way back and then see if you agree with what we're saying.
Totally agree.
But
I think it gives like a little bit. I think he's like, to me, he has like a little bit of a funk.
He's
yeah,
very
that's
good.
exactly what
He has
That's why I
a
thought
certain
you
funk
would
that's
compare
not
him
really
to.
that's
He's
not
all
really
of it,
in
all the way.
most music that's prevalent
Boosie
today. He has a little
Collins.
bit of
That's why I
funk
said
in there.
Bruno
He
Mars.
does.
Yeah.
His own little brand
Bruno
of
Mars
funk.
is funk.
Oh. Yeah, he's definitely Boosie. I thought Boosie Collins all the way.
Yeah.
When I heard him.
And you can appreciate an artist like that, and then finding out that he plays so many instruments and that he actually
I like
produces
that.
and he writes and he
I like
does
that.
everything. It just makes you appreciate that artist that much more. So that's why I give him a 7.5.
Yes.
We appreciate the artist and the artistry.
There you
Yeah.
It's
go.
important. It's
True
prime.
musicianship.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to take it down a notch. I'm closer to Reem. I'm right there with a 6 and a donkey kick.
Not with the J's.
That's how I feel because I felt like it was some of this shit's a kick in the face. Like, God damn it, Anderson, why did you give me these particular songs when I could have had such a better project, right? So it's not gonna stop me from going to see him live. I cannot wait to see him live, to hear Head Low, to hear Cheers, and hear how they you come in with and him on the drums doing it.
And they might arrange
Surely
it differently,
He's
too.
gonna play the drums doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like some of the things I can't wait to hear in rapping some of the songs we love from this project with some of the songs we love from Malibu, from Venice, from some of the things he did with his band Knowledge, man.
Yeah.
No worries. So with some of the older stuff he did on a small little EP I found, I can't think of the name of the damn tracks, but I'll drop them on the link later. But I'm waiting to hear those things put together.
Absolutely.
Because I'm still in love. Right?
Yeah.
Not that I'm not in love with you. It's just that sometimes you have those days in relationships with people that you love. And it's like, you know what? God damn it, I'm not fucking with what you just did.
Yeah.
I like you somewhat right now.
Yeah, real
Right?
rap.
That's how I feel. 6 and a donkey kick.
Real rap.
That's
real
where I'm
rap.
at with that, man.
And to your point about the stage performance, our feelings on this album take nothing away from what you're going to see on stage if you go see him live.
Oh, my.
He is incredible live, sounds exact. There's no tuning of that mic. That's all his pipes.
Yep.
I want to go to a show.
So is he
yes,
more
you do.
musical
We all
in
gonna
his
go
show?
together?
He has a full band.
Family.
His drum set is in the front of the stage. He's singing from
So
the
that's
drums.
what he does. So
oh, he's
he's a
incredible. He's
Yeah.
incredible. He's
And he
incredible.
started in church
It is
too.
an
So he's
excellent
a drummer
show.
and he has
He is
like
a-
more
he is an
music. Is it more
entertainer.
music
He is an
than
entertainer.
words and whatever? So
I
is
don't
he
know how to
really
answer that
focusing
question.
on Like, do you hear more of a medley or music playing? Like, he might cut something and then just start.
Yeah, he'll give you all that. He'll give you all of that.
Some Sheila E.
Okay,
shit.
dope.
It's not.
Yes.
I would like
That's a
that.
good one. He's
Something
on that Sheila
like
E.
that, I would totally dig because she stopped singing and she gonna get your ass.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
drums or
give it to
something
you.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was blessed to see him live, and I would not miss him again.
And speaking on that Lil Wayne, shout out to Junius King for giving us the exclusive info that I don't think any of us had, that Lil Wayne is dropping an album tonight or tomorrow, however you look at it. Hopefully it'll make up for what he
I
put
try
out.
to avoid the convo, and then you take it.
Yeah, I'm
God,
just
he's
gonna
such
do
a
that.
twin.
Yeah.
Birthday
Drop the
twin.
name of it. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Is
They
is
said
that-
we also said
I'm joking, but I'm not. Like,
Shade thrower.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
So just keeping it a buck. But overall, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of Anderson Paak.
Yeah, he's here to stay.
Obviously, he's still. I don't want to say he's in infancy. I don't even want to say he's in his prime. But I'm gonna say I'm just excited for where he's
His
at.
journey
Yeah.
is gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm tuned in. I'm not gonna let this go. And overall, I'm happy for what we've accomplished.
Yeah, man.
Taking two podcasts, mashing it together,
Y'all
talking about
so
an album
nice.
that we all
fits
had
both
some
sides of the
love-hate
fence, baby.
relationship with. This has
Yeah.
been great.
This is hopefully the first of many.
Indeed.
There are a lot of with the way artists are now, where they kind of dabble in everything. There's a lot of opportunities for this to sit.
A lot
for
of
us to do a
dudes
sit
out there
down
singing,
and-
We're
fam.
gonna be
Yeah.
doing a lot of collaborations.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
For
can
real.
feel it.
Yeah. It won't be so friendly when we do that battle though. That little battle we're supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, coming
The
soon,
music
coming
battle.
soon.
Oh, yeah,
but
we
we're
would
doing
love.
a music
That's
battle.
Is that a
gonna be-
Patreon
that's-
exclusive?
That might
be-
have to be a
drop?
Patreon
We're doing a
exclusive.
It might be
music
an
battle,
exclusive.
y'all. R&B, neo soul against hip hop.
That
Y'all
might
wanna
be an
miss that shit. It's gonna
exclusive.
be
I'm ready
fun.
for that.
Ooh.
I'm ready for that.
We might
That
have to
won't
get
be so friendly
DJs. Ooh, I'm excited
I'm ready
already.
for that, though.
I'm excited already.
This is too much.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit popping off.
Cause
but,
listen, we got the new Jack Swing era on the boom bap side, right?
No, we got that.
Teddy Riley, son.
Teddy Rock.
Yeah,
that's-
I know.
here we go.
That's singing.
Redhead Kingpin though.
But Rex, we'll build.
Heavy D.
Do he?
I got
we
some
wanna
new
do it
Jackson.
now. I
Heavy
think
D?
he wanna
Today.
do it now.
Heavy
You want
D?
to do it now?
Today,
Right
or-
now, today?
Oh,
We
no,
gonna save that.
seriously?
We gonna save
that
that.
for Patreon.
I'm
That's
about
a
to say,
Patreon.
y'all,
Listen.
you don't want this right now.
Please. So
New
let's.
Jack Swing is us.
So for those who
So we
are
went out
unaware
there.
of what we're talking about,
Yes.
we've got content, we've got things that we're doing that will not be publicized on Facebook Live, that does not fall into iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeart, Spotify, any of those platforms. You can only get it on our Patreon exclusive. That means you've got to head over to the Patreon page,
Yes.
thesphere.tv/Patreon. You can actually become a patron of the Sphere as a whole. You're going to get exclusive content that's not just from Boom Bap,
Exclusive.
not just from Soulfood, but exclusive content that's coming from every show on our network.
Absolutely.
We're gonna give you that prime time things that we're just dreaming about doing that actually come to fruition, that we're steady sowing into you. Why? Because you're sowing into us.
100%.
So we gotta give back. But that's what we do here each and every day on the Sphere Podcast Network. This has been a blessing. This has been a treat for you all. And of course, I gotta make sure people know where to find these lovely people that are right here giving out these gems. Starting with the ladies first. Once again, giving it out, Layla E. Where can the good people reach you at, my dear?
You can find. No, I was gonna do that again, like I did last week. I'm not gonna do that again. You can find me at Layla_E1 on IG, Snapchat. Follow my Facebook group, Layla_E. I'm gonna shout out a couple of people from the group that actually watched us and commented. We got Wesley, Beverly, Lashana, we got Junius, we got Erlene, Warrington, Melinda, all of y'all. Thank you for
Much
tuning
love.
in. And also a special shout out to Anderson for making a reference to gamer girls who watch anime and all that other stuff. I feel like he was shouting out a little bit of my my likeness.
There you go.
No doubt, no doubt.
But yeah, that's where you can find me, Layla_E1.
And give one album that you want the people to walk away with. We're talking Anderson Paak, everything you vibed and felt from this. Give us one album that you want people to go check out based on today's conversation.
Oh,
Ooh,
what?
Yeah.
That's a good one. I got one right now.
Come on, interviewer.
That's right. Yeah.
I do it with a little bonus. Normally I don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
'cause I
yeah.
like a nice cohesive
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about you.
I'm ready now. Look at the thing.
You want me to give
me
the
think,
audience
what do you
an
think?
album that I want them to check out?
I got
Yeah.
a good one too.
Based on
Any album.
Any album you want them to check out based on what we were talking about today. Any vibes that you got today. They said, you know what, you should check out this album.
Okay, that's cool.
Look at her with her phone working.
Don't look. You don't want to see.
Go ahead. No, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Should I say Shabba Ranks greatest hits? No, I'm playing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, that is right here.
Shout out to Buju Banton home.
No,
Absolute.
I would actually have to say one of my favorite albums ever is from what album does this come from? Hold on.
Not the internet.
We live.
Because the Internet by Childish Gambino.
Great.
Love it. He has a lot of different
choice.
flowy things going on, just like Anderson Paak. So check out Childish Gambino because the Internet.
Mr. Rock.
Great choice.
That's what you get for putting me on the spot.
I know. For me, you can reach me at Miss_Sirrah on my IG and my Twitter. And I would think that if you listen to any K-Triana, I think that you can kind of get a feel
That's a good one.
for him.
Were you trying to say Kate Trinidad?
K-Trinata.
Yeah,
K-Trinata.
99.9%.
This nigga up
Yes.
in grammar school and shit.
that's a good one.
You know, he
One
got
set
one
story
time
straight.
though. He got
Such a
one.
perfect seat for you.
You know what I'm talking about?
But that's a good one, though.
You know, grade school. He put me in grammar school and stuff. I went to CPS, Chicago Public School System. You know what I'm talking about? It was a long time ago. Then I went to trade school. Okay, I know I ain't got to explain this, but I'm just saying I'm under pressure right now. But anyway, so like I said, I think that if you listen to any of his joints, really, that he would give you that same type of vibe or flow or whatever, because he collaborates with everybody. So you know his production is fire. Though I love him.
Great choice.
Love him. So that's my choice.
That's what's up.
But thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate you all, and we'll hope to see you again when we do this next time. Okay.
Hey.
Jess, what you got?
J Freezy artist #2 on Instagram. Jesse Freezy 3rd on Facebook. Album wise, wow. Same question.
Yep, same question. One album.
One album based on this conversation.
Yep.
Flow, everything.
Whatever album you think.
You know what? Right on my mind right now is Ego Death, the Internet.
Nice choice.
That's a good one.
You gonna ride to it, you can
that's
cling to it.
Yeah.
You can do Ego Death. That is that's it.
But that's all the way through.
Yeah.
All the way,
No,
no
that's-
skips, just
No, that ain't no skip that.
Just flow.
You don't skip
Absolutely.
that.
everything. That's
skip
it.
none of
Love it.
that.
Great choice. Great choice. Reem,
Yo.
where can the people reach you at and what album?
Oh man, Instagram is Kareem.Sean, SHON. Twitter is at Reem Boom Bap. My album choice is gonna be Fonte's No News is Good.
Oh, damn.
Very nice choice.
Nice.
I guess he gets a standing ovation on that.
Very nice choice. Very nice choice.
Show off.
Yeah. You know,
Is that album gonna be top 10?
is fighting for a position within the first 5 right now.
Ooh.
Or should I say last 5? Somewhere between 1 through 5. It's a fight going on.
Okay,
But we'll
alright.
save that for
Next week.
when we do that.
2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
But yeah, man, my choice is Fonte's albums, a little singing on there, super groovy, bars, bananas, and it makes you think, it makes you dance, and it makes you bop your head. It's that real, man. So that's my choice.
All right.
That's
You
what's
ain't
up.
gotta be all dope and whatnot.
Mr. GoodBar.
Hello, everyone. I am Mr. GoodBar. You can catch me every Saturday on The Remedy, KPFT 90.1 FM, broadcasting in HD2. My Instagram is The Remedy Radio, or you can check me on MrGoodBar.com. Everything is there. The album that I would answer my man's question with, I had 3 while you were talking, and I've decided to change it.
Okay, no worries.
I wish
I'm
I
going
had
to
that
say,
kind of time.
I'm going to say, the Robert Glasper Experiment and K-Trinata, the remix
Yeah.
album.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is,
That was a good one. We
that's a
reviewed that
vibe.
one.
It,
We
it,
reviewed
it
that one. That
bounces.
was
It
dope.
has a little bit of hip hop, but it's a flow. It bounces. It's smooth. I think it fits like a festival type of setting,
was dope.
which is the type of artist that I get from Anderson Paak. So yeah, go check that remix album out, and it's H-Town, of course. So we got to rep the city.
Got
You
it.
already know what it is, man. And thank you guys for sitting with this and enjoying this and being a part of this. We love you guys so much, man.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out Facebook Live.
Real
Thank you.
rap.
Doing it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, of course, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And if I had one album to leave you all with, I'm going to actually go with somebody that you may have never heard of. Because we're going to do a little discovery. We're going to go with Saba, Care For Me.
Yeah.
Take a listen to that album. We're talking cohesive. We're talking flow, vibe. that's gonna set you where you need to be.
Spell it for 'em.
It's gonna put you SABA. It's gonna put you where you
That's
need
a
to
good one.
be. Saba, care for me.
Really nice.
This is That Boom Bap.
This is the Soulfood Podcast.
We will see y'all next
so
time.
good.
Take care, folks.
Peace and love.
This was dope. That was so dope.
That shit was fat.
See how y'all just tag teamed
That
in
shit
with
was
that
fat.
talk about it?
That shit was fat. That was fat. That was dope. That was dope.
Now I can have my smoker's card. Jesus. I was struggling. I was trying.
I was spit like a motherfucker.
Man,